It's been nearly a decade of OnePlus flagships already, and we've had some exceptional flagship devices our way. It seems like a recurring theme that the company's flagships are usually lauded as one of the better, hidden value devices out there, which usually punch well above their weight and give most flagships a solid run for the money. The only problem is probably the mostly obscure name, which is popular in the techie circles, but not exactly something we'd call a household name for certain. Could the company's upcoming flagship change that? We've been asking this every year, and it's more than logical to ask the same question with the upcoming OnePlus 13 in mind. So, can the OnePlus 13 be the turning point for this OnePlus brand? The specs. OnePlus phones have always relied on exceptional, top-tier hardware, and in a completely unsurprising development, the OnePlus 13 is yet another spectacular device that boasts a lot of 1000 megaamps. The design and display. OnePlus phones have always looked pretty smart, centered around a slowly evolving design language that hasn't been unique but has always been pretty discernible by phone geeks. It has also remained pretty consistent in the past few years, for better or for worse. Well, the new OnePlus 13 is here to both carry on with the stylistic tradition but also change it in the process. OnePlus' newest flagship now comes with flat sides, finally going after the design trend that has been ruling the smartphone market for the past few years. The company was one of the last holdouts of the slightly curved design language, which gave us sloping backplates and curved front screens for the ultimate ergonomics, but it's finally time for a fresher look. That one might have practical benefits as well. A flat side frame allows the company to utilize the inner space in a much more efficient way and could have been one of the reasons for the exceptionally large battery on deck, but more on that later. Still, there's an ever so slight curve present towards all four sides of the aluminum frame, but for all intents and purposes, the display can be perceived as flat. The phone is relatively lightweight as it weighs 220 grams. It's also actually slightly shorter but a bit wider than the OnePlus 12. This probably won't change the ergonomics that much, but still worth a mention. The device is also exceptionally thin, measuring just 8.5 mm thick, which is a feat given how much hardware is crammed inside. A noteworthy new feature is the highest possible water and dust resistance certification on board, IP69, a step up from the now standard IP68 certification. IP69 fully protects against powerful water jets and water immersion, which should give an even bigger peace of mind. The signature OnePlus 3-way ring switch is fortunately present here, and that's simply lovely. Colors-wise, OnePlus is keeping things safe with 3 color options: white, obsidian, and blue version with a faux leather finish. OnePlus is no stranger to such custom finishes, so we are anything but surprised. Though the OnePlus 13 color variants look pretty decent. Taking a closer look at the display of the OnePlus 13, we get a 6.8-inch OLED screen with a QHD+ resolution, HDR+ support, and the same advertised peak brightness of 4500 nits as the OnePlus 12, though it most certainly refers to the maximum brightness achievable by a single pixel at full power. It's the typical brightness that matters, and we seem to have an upgrade from the OnePlus 12, 800 nits versus 600 nits. Another novel new feature that has arrived courtesy of display manufacturer BOE is a feature called Local Refresh Rate. This enables different areas of a display to refresh at different rates, unlike standard displays, which refresh the whole screen at the same rate. That could have major repercussions on the overall efficiency of the screen. The maximum refresh rate remains 120 Hz and the minimum 1 Hz. The screen is protected by crystal shield glass, so no Corning glass here. The camera. For years now, OnePlus has been partnering with legendary photography powerhouse Hasselblad for the cameras of its flagships. Luckily, it seems that this is still the case with the OnePlus 13 as well, And that's great news as we're pretty happy with how OnePlus phones have fared. The OnePlus 13 packs a 1.4 inches 50MP Sony LYT-808 stacked main camera with optical image stabilization, OIS, to keep shots steady, a 23mm focal length, and a bright f1.6 aperture which should bring some serious horsepower to the proverbial camera engine. Next up, we have a 50MP Samsung JN5 ultra-wide lens, giving you a 15mm equivalent view with an f2.0 aperture. Rounding things out is a 50MP Sony LYT-600 telephoto sensor. It's got OIS and f2.6 aperture and gives you a 3x optical zoom to get closer to the action. Up front, we are greeted by a 32MP selfie camera, neatly tucked in a punch hole cutout. The performance power overwhelming. We've finally reached the era of 3nm chips on Android thanks to the new Snapdragon 8 Elite, which will be powering the OnePlus 13. The new Qualcomm chip is shaping up to be a rather potent powerhouse, which spells great things for the performance prospects of the OnePlus 13. OnePlus phones have never felt like they were slow or lacking raw performance. Actually, that has been the case with most flagships for years, but the transition to the 3nm architecture will surely improve things greatly. One of the possible issues with the 3nm manufacturing node could be excessive heat, which would then quickly lead to throttling, and OnePlus has thought about that in advance. The OnePlus 13 features a huge 9925mm2 vapor chamber to cope with all the excessive heat and sustain consistent performance during intensive tasks and gaming. Aside from the flagship Qualcomm chip, the top-end OnePlus 13 version will also score up to 24GB of LPDDR5X RAM as well as up to a full terabyte of onboard storage. However, more down-to-earth versions with 12GB RAM 256GB storage and 16GB RAM 512GB storage are also available. Finally, in its unending quest to deliver the most pleasing haptic feedback, OnePlus. The software. OnePlus 13 will come with Android 15 out of the box. In terms of software support longevity, last year OnePlus announced it will support its phones for 5 years, and there's no reason to believe this number will go up. In terms of features, OnePlus announced Oxygen OS 15 last month, and as a surprise to no one, this major software update will focus on AI. Here is a summary of some key features of Oxygen OS 15. A visual redesign with new icons. While Oxygen OS 15's shelf widget panel has scored multiple new cards that expand the usability. New split mode that lets you easily switch between the notification drawer and quick settings panel. New parallel processing feature that aims to provide system-wide seamless animation transitions. OnePlus Take, a seamless wallpaper transition from your home screen to the always-on display. OnePlus Canvas boosts multitasking by enabling 3-app multitasking, allowing you to switch freely between 2 apps while keeping their full window sizes. Lock screen enhancements, clock color, glass textures, blurred wallpapers, depth effects and home screen customization, glass patterns, blurred wallpapers, etc. OnePlus Share enables seamless file sharing between OnePlus and iOS devices, a sort of cross-platform airdrop. And when it comes to AI, OnePlus is jumping off the bandwagon with a great leap. AI Detail and AI Unblur use the power of artificial intelligence to automatically sharpen blurred images and enhance low-resolution images with a single click. AI Reflection Eraser removes unwanted reflections when you shoot through windows. Global Search and Circle to Search lets you search across apps with natural language processing. Pass Scan, this one lets you store boarding passes directly to Google Wallet. AI Notes uses AI to automatically sort and organize your notes. AI Reply lets you reply with contextually relevant replies in most chat apps. All of those features will come to the OnePlus 13, but also some previous OnePlus devices, like the OnePlus Open 12. 12R, 11, 11R, and OnePlus 10. The battery. The most exciting new feature of OnePlus phones, at least for me, has always been the superb battery life and ultra-fast charging speeds. The OnePlus 13 won't be one to disappoint. The phone comes with a massive 6,000 mAh battery inside its thin 8.5mm body, which is an exceptional feat. How is this possible? Well, OnePlus has utilized the pretty promising lithium-silicon battery technology, which could very well be the battery breakthrough we've been waiting for, allowing for increased capacity and super-fast charging in a relatively slim package. Hopefully, this will finally enable us to move past the 5,000 mAh battery frontier that most Android flagships have rooted themselves into. OnePlus phones have always had great battery life, and we expect nothing less of the OnePlus 13, but it's the charging that's usually the most exciting part. Just like most of its predecessors, the OnePlus 13 supports 100W wired SUPERVOOC charging and 50W AIRVOOC wireless charging. The latter requires a bespoke wireless charger, but we hope OnePlus continues to supply its super-fast wall adapters into the box. They increase the value of the product so much more. In conclusion, the bigger battery, much faster chipset, and a promising display, all of those new features are more than excellent upgrades to an already pretty decent flagship family, which seemingly never takes a step in the wrong direction. Things are looking up for OnePlus, which once again might be the hidden ultimate value gem in the Android space, a phone with exceptional hardware, great software, and sadly, the wrong name. The latter will possibly prevent the latter from ever beating the iPhones and Galaxies in the US, which is by now a popularity contest.